Hi there, English learners. You're watching Easy and Fast English Learning, and I'm Ethan. Here we make English simple, practical, and easy to use in real life. No confusing grammar talk, no pressure, just clear lessons that help you speak faster, understand more, and sound more natural step by step. I'm so glad you are here today. Today we are talking about something really important. How to ask questions naturally in English. This is a skill you need every single day. At work, with friends, at a coffee shop, in a meeting, on the phone, online, everywhere. And today we are going to practice it together, step by step. You and me. Right now. So stay with me. Say things out loud. Don't just listen. This is your practice time. Let's begin. Let me ask you something first. Do you sometimes want to ask a question in English, but you stop yourself? Maybe you know the words, you understand the situation, but when you open your mouth, nothing comes out. Maybe you are afraid the question sounds weird. Maybe you are afraid people won't understand you. Maybe you think too long about grammar. Maybe you try to build the perfect sentence in your head. And then, the moment is gone. The conversation moves on. Someone else asks the question, and you just stand there, quiet, frustrated. Maybe this happens at work. Your boss says something. You have a question, but you don't ask. Maybe this happens with friends. Someone tells you a story. You want to know more, but you stay silent. Maybe this happens when you travel. You need help. You need directions. You need information. But you don't ask because you are afraid of making a mistake. I understand. I really do. And I want you to know something. This is not your fault. You are not bad at English. You just need better practice. Most learners think they need to memorize hundreds of question patterns. They think they need to understand every grammar rule about questions. They think they need perfect word order before they can ask anything. Subject, auxiliary, verb, object. They think about all of that. But no. That is not how real English works. Native speakers do not think about grammar when they ask questions. They don't plan their questions. They just react. They hear something. They get curious. They ask. It is fast. It is short. It is natural. And that is what we are going to practice today. You don't need more grammar rules. You need real patterns that you can use right now. You don't need long, complicated questions. You need short, clear, natural ones. You don't need to sound like a textbook. You need to sound like a real person. Short is okay. Simple is powerful. Let me show you what I mean. Let's start with the most basic skill. Asking simple questions in everyday situations. I will give you a situation. You will practice asking a question. Say it out loud. Really. Out loud. Don't just read it in your head. Open your mouth. Use your voice. This is how you build the habit. Ready? Let's go. Situation 1. You are at a coffee shop. You want to connect to the internet. You need the password. Ask now. You say, "What's the Wi-Fi password?" What's the Wi-Fi password? What's the Wi-Fi password? Good. This works because it is direct. It is clear. Everyone understands it immediately. You don't need to say, "Excuse me, I was wondering if you could possibly tell me what the wireless internet password might be. No, nobody talks like that. Or even simpler, do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have Wi-Fi? Good. Short. Clear. Real. Situation 2. You are at work. Your coworker said something, but you did not hear it clearly. Maybe they spoke too fast. Maybe there was noise. Ask now. You say, "Sorry, what did you say?" Sorry, what did you say? Sorry, what did you say? Good. This works because it is polite and natural. The word sorry at the beginning makes it soft and friendly. Or even simpler, say that again? Say that again? That sounds natural. That is real English. People say this every single day. Don't be afraid to ask people to repeat. It is completely normal. Situation 3. You are in a meeting. Someone mentions a deadline, but you missed the date. You need to know when. Ask now. You say, "When is the deadline?" When is the deadline? When is the deadline? Good. This works because it is short and focused. One question. One piece of information. That is all you need. Or even simpler, when is that due? When is that due? Nice. Very natural. Very professional. Keep going. Situation 4. You are talking to a friend. They mention a new restaurant they tried. You want to know the location. Ask now. You say, "Where is that?" Where is that? Where is that? Good. This works because you don't need to repeat the restaurant name. The word that does all the work. Or even simpler, where? Where? Yes, one word. That is a real question in English. In casual conversation, one word is enough. Don't overthink it. Situation 5. You are at a train station in a new city. You need to find the right platform. Ask now. You say, "Which platform for the city center?" Which platform for the city center? Which platform for the city center? Good. This works because you don't need a full sentence. Just the key words. People will understand you perfectly. Or even simpler, which way to the city center? Which way to the city center? Real, natural, effective. Situation 6. You are at a friend's house. They offer you something to drink. You want to know your options. Ask now. You say, "What do you have?" What do you have? What do you have? Good. This works because it is open and friendly. It lets them give you choices without pressure. Or even simpler, like what? Like what? Very casual. Very natural. Perfect for friends. Situation 7. You are shopping for clothes. You see a nice jacket, but there is no price tag. Ask now. You say, "How much is this?" How much is this? How much is this? Good. Classic question. Simple. Clear. Works everywhere in the world. You will never not need this question. Or even simpler. What's the price on this? What's the price on this? Good. You are doing great. Situation 8. Your friend tells you they are going on a trip next month. You are curious. You want details. Ask now. You say, "Oh really? Where are you going?" "Oh really? Where are you going?" "Oh really? Where are you going?" Good. This works because "Oh really?" shows interest first. Then you ask the question. That is how natural conversation works. React first, then ask. React, then ask. Remember that pattern. Or even simpler. Nice. Where to? Nice. Where to? Short, friendly, real. That is the skill. Now let's go deeper. In real life, you don't just ask one question and stop. You ask a question. You listen. Then you follow up. That is how you keep a conversation going. That is how you show interest. That is how you connect with people. One question is good. 2 questions is better. Let me show you how. Practice round 2. This time you will react, ask a question, and ask a follow-up question. Say it with me, out loud. Use your voice. They say, "I went to a new restaurant last night." You answer, "Oh nice. How was it?" Then you add, "What did you get?" Say it with me. "Oh nice. How was it? What did you get?" "Oh nice. How was it? What did you get?" One more time. "Oh nice. How was it? What did you get?" Good. See? 2 short questions. That is enough to keep any conversation alive. You don't need a long response. You just need curiosity. They say, "I'm so tired today." You answer, "Oh no. What happened?" Then you add, "Did you sleep late?" Say it with me. "Oh no. What happened? Did you sleep late?" "Oh no. What happened? Did you sleep late?" One more time. "Oh no. What happened? Did you sleep late?" Good. That sounds so natural. You are showing care. You are showing interest. That is real communication. They say, "I'm thinking about changing jobs." You answer, "Really? How come?" Then you add, "What kind of job are you looking for?" Say it with me. "Really? How come? What kind of job are you looking for?" "Really? How come? What kind of job are you looking for?" Good. Keep going. How come means why, but it sounds more casual, more friendly, less like an interview. Remember that one. Use it often. They say, "I just got back from vacation." You answer, "Oh awesome. Where did you go?" Then you add, "How long were you there?" Say it with me. "Oh awesome. Where did you go? How long were you there?" "Oh awesome. Where did you go? How long were you there?" One more time. "Oh awesome. Where did you go? How long were you there?" Good. 2 questions. Both simple. Both natural. That is real English conversation. They say, "I started learning guitar last month." You answer, "Oh cool. How is it going?" Then you add, "How long do you practice every day?" Say it with me. "Oh cool. How is it going? How long do you practice every day?" "Oh cool. How is it going? How long do you practice every day?" Good. You are already getting it. Notice the pattern. React first, then ask, then follow up. React. Ask. Follow up. That is the formula for natural conversation. They say, "My sister is visiting this weekend." You answer, "Oh, that's nice. Where does she live?" Then you add, "What are you guys going to do?" Say it with me. "Oh, that's nice. Where does she live? What are you guys going to do?" "Oh, that's nice. Where does she live? What are you guys going to do?" Good. That was real English. That was a real conversation moment. You just practiced it, and it sounded great. Now let's practice with mini conversations. These are short dialogues, real situations, real life. Listen carefully. Notice the questions. Then we will practice together. Mini conversation 1. At the office. Someone says, "Hey, did you finish the report?" You say, "Almost. I need about 1 more hour." Someone says, "Okay, no rush. Do you need any help?" You say, "Actually, yeah. Can you check the numbers for me?" Stopwatch equals 0.5s. Someone says, "Sure. Which section?" You say, "The last page, the budget part." Someone says, "Got it. I'll take a look right now." Now let's look at the questions in that conversation. Did you finish the report? Simple yes or no question. Direct. Professional. Do you need any help? Offering help with a question. Very natural at work. Very kind. Can you check the numbers for me? Asking for help politely. Can you? Plus the action. Which section? Short follow-up. No full sentence needed. Just 2 words. See? All short. All clear. No complicated English grammar. That is how real people talk at work. Not like a textbook. Like a human. Mini conversation 2. Making weekend plans with a friend. Your friend says, "Hey, what are you doing this weekend?" You say, "Not sure yet. Maybe just staying home." And you? Your friend says, "I was thinking about going hiking. Want to come?" You say, "Maybe. Where are you going?" Your friend says, "There's a trail near the lake, about an hour from here." You say, "Oh, nice. What time are you leaving?" Your friend says, "Probably around 8 in the morning. Is that too early for you?" You say, "No, that works. Count me in." Your friend says, "Great. Should I pick you up?" You say, "Yeah, that would be awesome. Thanks." Let's look at the questions here. What are you doing this weekend? The most common weekend question in English. Practice this one a lot. You will use it every week. Want to come? Short invitation. You don't need to say, "Would you like to come with me?" Just wanna come is perfect. Where are you going? Simple follow-up. Shows interest. What time are you leaving? Practical question. Very useful for making plans. Is that too early for you? Checking if the other person is okay with the plan. Shows consideration. Should I pick you up? Offering help. Very friendly. All natural. All short. All real. You can use every single one of these this weekend. Mini conversation 3. Ordering at a coffee shop. Someone says, "Hi there. What can I get you? You say, what do you recommend? Someone says, our iced latte is really popular right now. You say, sounds good. What sizes do you have? Someone says, small, medium, or large. You say, medium, please. Oh, and do you have oat milk? Someone says, yes, we do. Want me to use that instead? You say, yes, please. How much is that total? Someone says, that'll be $5.50. You say, great. Can I pay with card? Someone says, of course. Tap right here. You say, thanks. How long will it take? Someone says, about 2 minutes. You say, perfect. Look at all those questions. What do you recommend? Perfect when you don't know what to order. Works at restaurants, coffee shops, bars, anywhere. What sizes do you have? Asking about options. Very practical. Do you have oat milk? Asking about availability. Simple yes or no question. How much is that total? Asking the price. You need this everywhere. Can I pay with card? Very common in daily life. Almost every day. How long will it take? Asking about wait time. Super useful. Every single question is short. Every single one is useful. You can use all of these tomorrow. Mini conversation 4. An online work meeting. Someone says, hey everyone, can you all hear me okay? You say, yeah, we can hear you fine. Someone says, great. So, where are we on the project? You say, we finished the first phase, but we have a question about the next step. Someone says, sure. What's the question? You say, when do you need the final version? Someone says, by Friday. Is that doable? You say, I think so. Can we push it to Friday afternoon instead of morning? Someone says, that works for me. Does that work for everyone else? You say, yeah, that's fine. Someone says, perfect. Anything else before we wrap up? You say, one more thing. Who should I send the draft to? Someone says, send it to me and Sarah. You say, got it. Thanks. Someone says, okay. Talk to you all later. Look at the questions in this meeting. Can you all hear me? Every online meeting starts like this. Practice it. Where are we on the project? Asking for a status update. Very professional but still simple. What's the question? Direct. Clear. Efficient. When do you need the final version? Asking about deadlines. Is that doable? Checking if something is possible. Casual but professional. Can we push it to Friday afternoon? Negotiating politely. Very useful skill. Does that work for everyone else? Including others in the decision. Anything else before we wrap up? Checking before ending the meeting. Who should I send the draft to? Asking for specific information. All of these are short. All of these are real. This is how people actually talk in meetings. Not with textbook English. With real, natural, everyday English. Okay, now it is time for fast practice. This is my favorite part. I am going to give you a situation. You react. You ask a question. No stopping. No planning. No translating in your head. Just react. Don't think about grammar. Don't worry about mistakes. Just open your mouth and respond. Ready? Let's go. 1. Someone says, I moved to a new apartment. You ask, oh really? Where? Oh really? Where? Good. 2. Someone says, I can't come to the party on Saturday. You ask, oh no. How come? Oh no. How come? Good. 3. Someone says, I'm cooking dinner tonight. You ask, nice. What are you making? Nice. What are you making? Good. Keep going. 4. Someone says, I just got a new phone. You ask, oh cool. Which one did you get? Oh cool. Which one did you get? Good. 5. Someone says, I have a job interview tomorrow morning. You ask, oh wow. What's the job? Oh wow. What's the job? Good. 6. Someone says, I'm going to the gym after work. You ask, nice. What time do you usually go? Nice. What time do you usually go? Good. 7. Someone says, I watched a great movie last night. You ask, oh yeah? What was it called? Oh yeah? What was it called? Good. 8. Someone says, I'm learning to drive. You ask, oh nice. How's it going so far? Oh nice. How's it going so far? Good. You are fast now. 9. Someone says, I need to buy a birthday gift for my mom. You ask, oh, what does she like? Oh, what does she like? Good. 10. Someone says, I'm not feeling well today. You ask, oh no, what's wrong? Oh no, what's wrong? Good. You did it. All 10. Fast. Natural. Real. Now let me give you some bonus question patterns. These are starters you can use in almost any situation. Keep them in your pocket. Use them every day. What do you mean? Use this when you don't understand something someone said. Say it with me. What do you mean? What do you mean? Good. This is not rude. This is completely normal. Native speakers say this all the time. Don't be afraid to use it. It shows you are listening and you want to understand. How does that work? Use this when someone explains something and you want more details. Say it with me. How does that work? How does that work? Good. Very useful at work. Very useful when learning something new. What happened? Use this when someone tells you something surprising or something bad. Say it with me. What happened? What happened? Good. Short. Powerful. Shows you care. Are you sure? Use this when something sounds surprising or you want to double check. Say it with me. Are you sure? Are you sure? Good. Be careful with your tone on this one. Say it gently, not aggressively. Do you mind if I? Use this when you want to ask permission politely. Do you mind if I sit here? Do you mind if I open the window? Do you mind if I ask you something? Do you mind if I leave a bit early today? Say it with me. Do you mind if I ask you something? Do you mind if I ask you something? Good. Very polite. Very useful. Use this at work with strangers in formal situations. How about you? Use this after you answer a question. Turn it back to the other person. Someone asks, "How was your weekend?" You say, "It was good. Pretty relaxing. How about you?" Say it with me. It was good. How about you? It was good. How about you? Good. This keeps the conversation going. It shows you care about the other person too. This is one of the most important phrases in English conversation. Use it every day. What do you think? Use this when you want someone's opinion. At work, with friends, anywhere. Say it with me. What do you think? What do you think? Good. Simple. Powerful. Works in any situation. People love being asked what they think. It makes them feel valued. Is everything okay? Use this when someone looks upset or stressed or different from usual. Say it with me. Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Good. This shows empathy. This shows you notice people. This is a kind question. Can you say that one more time? Use this when you need someone to repeat something. Maybe they spoke too fast. Say it with me. Can you say that one more time? Can you say that one more time? Good. This is polite. This is normal. Never be embarrassed to ask someone to repeat. Or even simpler. One more time. One more time. That works too. In casual situations, that is perfectly fine. Now let me share something important with you. I want you to really hear this. Many learners are afraid to ask questions. They think asking questions makes them look weak. They think it means their English is not good enough. They think people will judge them. But that is completely wrong. Asking questions is a strength. In English-speaking cultures, people who ask good questions are seen as smart. They are seen as engaged. They are seen as confident. They are seen as good communicators. Think about it. The best conversations you have ever had, what made them good? Someone was asking questions. Someone was curious. Someone was listening carefully and then asking more. That is what makes a conversation feel alive. That is what makes people want to talk to you. And here is something else I want you to think about. Asking questions is not just an English skill. It is a life skill. It is a confidence skill. It is a connection skill. When you ask a question, you are saying, I am here. I am present. I am listening. I want to understand you. That is powerful. That is brave. That is how you build real relationships. In any language. So today you practiced something real. You practiced reacting quickly. You practiced asking short, natural questions. You practiced following up with second questions. You practiced full mini conversations. You practiced fast responses without planning. You learned bonus patterns you can use every day. You did a lot today, and I am really proud of you. Let me remind you of the key patterns from today. React first, then ask, "Oh, really? Where? Oh, nice. How was it? How come? What do you mean? How about you? What do you think?" These are your tools now. Use them every day, in real life, at work, with friends, online, at the store, everywhere. Remember, short is okay. Simple is powerful. You don't need a long question. You just need a real one. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to open your mouth and react. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. It is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. One question at a time. One conversation at a time. You are building something important here. You are building confidence. You are building connection. You are building your English voice. And your English voice matters. Keep going. Keep practicing. Keep asking questions. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Mistakes mean you are trying. Trying means you are growing. And growing means you are getting closer to the English speaker you want to be. You are already getting better. I can hear it. I can feel it. Now here is what I want you to do. Go to the comments right now. Type questions done. And then share one question from today's lesson that you want to use this week. Maybe it is, how come? Maybe it is, what do you mean? Maybe it is, how about you? Maybe it is, how's it going? Whatever it is, type it below. Tell me which one you are going to practice. I read every single comment, and it makes me so happy to see you practicing. And if you found this helpful, share it with a friend who is also learning English. Practice together. Ask each other questions. Help each other grow. Next time, we are going to practice something you need every day. How to keep a conversation going when you don't know what to say next. You know that feeling? When the conversation stops and you panic. We are going to fix that. Together. Thank you for pressing play. Thank you for choosing to practice your English right now. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Keep asking questions. You are doing amazing work. I am Ethan, your English teacher. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, my friend. And keep going. One step at a time.